What is going on, guys? Aere here, back for your daily update. It is the end of the month. It is the last day of July, almost to August. So all eyes right now are on the monthly candle close. We got about 8 hours, 43 minutes, 7 o'clock Central Time is the monthly candle close. Closing above this box is going to be bullish, or at least towards the upper range of it is going to be very, very, very bullish. And here's why, right? I mean, we should have, first of all, never dipped this low. If it wasn't for Terra Luna collapse, we would have gotten a bounce off of this zone, period. We would have never been down here. And, you know, a lot of people actually think that if Terra Luna would have never collapsed, FTX might not have ever collapsed, or at least not when it did. It would look, seems like it was a bomb just ready to explode. But the point is, you can see how this has been previous support, previous resistance, flipping back and forth a few times. We dipped into it. Terra Luna collapse happened May of 2022, and then just the bottom fell out. And then we know what happened with FTX, so on and so forth. So holding this zone is going to be very, very bullish. So all eyes right now are on the monthly close. On top of that, we're seeing some other stuff that is kind of indicating a possible bearish downturn, if it happens, right? So on the 4-hour chart, we had that bullish cross where that 50 moving average, or sorry, the 100 moving average, which is this kind of gray line here, crossed the 200. When that happens, that's called a bullish cross. So we got a big pump off of that, as you can see here, which brought us up into our current range. But now the reverse could possibly be happening. It hasn't happened yet on regular candles on the 4-hour chart, but you can see how it's getting pretty close. So if we have a good close to the month and a good day today or tomorrow, hopefully we can avoid that, because that would be a bearish scenario. So we got a couple of things, a couple of make or break moments right here for Bitcoin with the monthly candle close, the 4-hour doing its thing with the 100 possibly crossing underneath the 200, which would be bearish. We also have the fib level, the golden pocket from this most recent swing up to that 31K level, sitting right at 28,500. Top of that, we have a lot of liquidity sitting at 28,500. There's not much above us right now until you get to that 31,000, 31,500, 32,000 level. You know, do we squeak that out here today, tomorrow? No. I mean, the more realistic story is more downside or holding on, bulls defending that must hold box that I have drawn here, which would be very, very bullish. Right now, holding on to that 0.5 fib line, kind of right at the top of that box. We're going to take a look at Bitcoin today, some altcoins, total market cap. We're going to kind of do a month end here for you guys. On top of that, lots of news to cover today. I mean, SEC filing against Richard Heart. HEX not looking good. Curve exploit, we're going to talk about that a little bit. So crypto being tribal, we're going to talk about that. XRP to 507 months. Wells Fargo. Ball token, there's a lot going on with the Bone ecosystem, not Bone ecosystem, with the base ecosystem from Coinbase right now. Lots of meme coins, lots of money being thrown in there. Tether announces $1 billion in profit. We got a bunch of cool stuff to kind of go over today. Well, you know how we're going to do it. We're going to do it like we do every single day. Short, sweet video, to the point, no fluff, get you all the news, any drama, any crypto Twitter stuff, all the charts in a short, sweet video. Appreciate you guys. Like, comment, subscribe, helps the channel out, helps us out. Give us a chance, subscribe. We do this every single day. By we, I mean me and you guys. And then hop in Discord, discord.gg/Alpha Aere. First 100 people are going to be grandfathered in for free lifetime to any pay gate I do in the future. Let's just get it. I think most crypto savvy investors know who Richard Heart is, what HEX is. They also probably have seen him carrying, you know, bags of expensive watches, driving expensive automobiles, you know, Gucci bags, Gucci tracksuit out, you know, standing in front of Lamborghinis, things like that. Raised a lot of red flags with me years ago, a lot of others, you know, if you know type of situation. Unfortunately, a lot of people look at that and think, oh my God, I can have that too. Let me give Richard Heart and his chain a lot of money. Not the case. SEC filing complaint against HEX Founder for allegedly offering unregistered securities. According to the SEC, Hart allegedly used more than $12 million of investor funds to buy a 555-carat diamond, expensive watches, and high-end automobiles. So the SEC has filed a lawsuit against Richard Schuler, is his name, better known in crypto space as Richard Heart, for alleged unregistered offering of 3 tokens. In the July 31st hearing, or filing today, in the East District of New York, the SEC claimed Hart had raised more than $1 billion through unregistered offer and sale of crypto asset securities, which include HEX, Pulse Chain, PulseX. According to the complaint, Hart touted the token as a pathway to grandiose wealth for investors, hiring developers to maintain the framework behind it. They are alleging he violated security laws and defrauded retail investors, both in the US and abroad. So not looking good here. Not looking good for HEX in general. It's been doing nothing but down this entire time. If you bought into his shill bullshit, you need to hop in Discord. I've been talking about this dude for years and how to stay away from it. And, if you listen to me, congratulations. Just like I said, stay away from Polyox, Ben.eth, Ben Armstrong. Batting like 100 right now, guys, but it's just not looking good. It was a good short opportunity. Now, who knows? But all-time low. It's just not looking good. By no means am I a fan of the SEC. You guys should all know that if you watch my videos. But I'm going to go out on a limb here and say allegedly, right? Some of this stuff is true. 100%. Curve Finance exploit has it shaken confidence in DeFi. So $24 million liquidity pool exploit. Institutions might get discouraged from depositing capital in the DeFi. And any protocol compiled with Viper could be at risk, according to cyber, researchers, whatever that is. A weekend exploit that targeted Curve Finance is shaking confidence in DeFi. It is. There's a lot of DeFi hacks, and it is shaking confidence. It's scary, right? Attackers stole $24 million, and several stablecoin pools using the Viper contracts were drained due to a vulnerability. The Curve token has fallen 12% in the past 24 hours. A researcher goes by the name of Ignis DeFi Research said the plunge signaled a rupture of confidence in DeFi. So it raises wider concerns. Ignis highlighted the $100 million in liquidations on Aave, Frax, and Abracadabra following the attack. The researcher added that several protocols that are reliant on Curve, there's a lot of them, like Frax and Alchemix, depend on CRV liquidity for their synthetic assets. Synthetics assets? Institutional response. I'm not going to read through this, but you get the picture that I'm trying to say here. Is this shit needs to be fixed in order for DeFi to prosper and to grow. So when I see stuff like this, I get infuriated. XRP hit $500 in 7 months. Wells Fargo Treasury manager predicts this Treasury manager should be fired, but I guess they're getting me to click on an article, so there you go. People have long asked, what will be the price of XRP when this utility comes? In my opinion, now more than ever, I see divided XRP army, one side looking only at charts, taking cues from the past and trends that follow Bitcoin. Some are moon boys. I'm not going to read. Look at this. This is just ridiculous. There is a 0% chance. There's not a near zero. There is a 0% chance that in 7 months XRP hits $500. If it does, I will give away all my crypto holdings on this channel live. If in 7 months from now, if on the 31st or whatever 7 months is from now, so would that be February, I will give away all my crypto. Period. You need to unfollow people who talk stupid like this. This is just ridiculous to me. And she's a Wells Fargo Treasury advisor. Are you kidding me? Is this a diversity hire, right? It's engagement bait, right? It's getting that XRP army out there to be like, yeah. So if you don't know, and you haven't been on crypto Twitter all weekend, everyone's talking about Base. Base is a Ethereum layer 2, like we needed another one of those, incubated by Coinbase and built on an open source OP Optimism stack. We have no plans to issue a new network token, so there's no token for this, but there's a big ecosystem. Meme coins flying out like crazy. One of the ones which got millions of dollars in capital was Bald token. You got to be careful out there, guys, when these new things launch. Massive hype, right? That's all anyone talked about this weekend. And then Bald token, which was launched a little over 24 hours ago, attracted massive hype and capital, plunges 90% as developer essentially rug pulls, right? So on Sunday, yesterday, Bald token amassed 50 million market cap. The popularity picked up. It started trending. People were having fun. It ran up to 85 million late on Sunday, netting traders some over $1.4 million from a $500 investment. Again, these things, it's like winning the lottery, right? A couple people are going to get rich, and typically those are the smarter people, or they just got lucky, like winning the lottery or hitting a slot machine jackpot or whatever. But pulled liquidity. Who knows? At the time of writing, blockchain data shows the developer has been adding liquidity back in smaller batches, Price rose a little bit, but everyone's sold, man. I mean, you just can't do this. I mean, here's, right? Yoink, right back down. Ruined it. We got the second quarter report of 2023 from Tether announcing $1 billion in profit in the second quarter. They're the largest stablecoin out there, right? I pray to God that nothing is wrong with Tether. It's increasingly looking more and more legit, like a lot of the FUD is BS, just from my own personal look into it and their finances and where they have money parked. It's also a lot of hopium, right? Because if this sucker crashes, it's going to be a 10-year dark period for crypto, right? I mean, everything's built off of Tether. All the futures exchanges, the derivative exchanges, a lot of DeFi, et cetera, et cetera. But $1 billion, this is bullish, in my opinion. Not going to spend a whole lot of time on this one, but the Eurozone bounces back from economic stagnation, but core inflation remains sticky. So they came in better than expected on their GDP. A lot of people were forecasting a recession. We saw, let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. We did make a video last week or something, or no, it was a couple months ago on the other channel that I came from, just talking about how it started to look like they were going into recession. It's still possible. Let's be honest. A lot of these forecasts have been wrong, specifically in the United States. But I'm continuing to watch the EU, the Eurozone economic growth, because it is big news. But it looks like for now, it's ahead of expectations. But core inflation is still sticky. Lastly, maybe one of the cooler pieces of news today for everyone in Dubai. I mean, Binance secures the first operational license in Dubai amid regulatory hurdles in Europe, the United States, Canada, pretty much everywhere else. So the first digital asset Vera license granted to an exchange in Dubai is issued to Binance. Pop up. So we are honored to be the first exchange to be granted, they said. I mean, this is huge. Binance regulatory issues in Europe. We all know about that. Netherlands, for example, exited the market there. Their crypto custody license in Germany was withdrawn due to significant changes in the global market and regulation. We know about everything that's going on with Binance, but this is a bullish news. I'm telling you right now, like Canada, Australia, Netherlands, United States specifically, like, you know, that's where I'm from. Get your shit together, because you're going to lose to countries like Dubai. I mean, Dubai's already dope, right? I mean, it's people are flocking there in droves, crypto people. It's becoming a crypto mecca. So is Hong Kong right now. United States, unless you want to lose this industry, this world, you know, paradigm changing industry, get your shit together. Then for only the fourth time since 1990, we have seen households' net worth contract. Again, for the fourth time since 1990. It's not a good place you want to be. Is this Biden economics, or what does he call it? Bidenomics in work? And it's a shit show out here, guys. I'm telling you, we're not through it yet. It's still going to get ugly, especially if household net worth continues to drop. People are having to spend more money. You know, on paper, inflation's coming down, right? But tell that to your neighbors and to your friends and family who go to the grocery store and their bills are 20 to 40% more expensive than they were. You know, my electric bill was through the roof. I mean, it's insane. It's a wild time. It's kind of cool to see. So Barbie's Margot Robbie has a take on Bitcoin, says it's a Ken thing. Bitcoin is big Ken energy. Here's kind of what she said. This made the rounds. You probably already saw this. I mean, feel free to skip if you don't. I mean, there's timestamps at the bottom of every video. I'm just going to play it real quick for the people who didn't.
It's so funny because when we were like in prep for this movie, two of our wonderful producers, one of whom is also my husband, when David and Tom would like start talking about like Bitcoin or something, like Greta and I'd be like, they're being such Kens. They'd talk about golf, we're like, stop being Kens. So it's hard to define what makes a Ken, but there can also be big Ken energy, and that's a good thing.
Or as Ryan says, Kenergy.
Kenergy is, it's not something you can define, it's just something you can sense and you know it.
Yeah.
Michael Saylor and others kind of chiming in here saying Bitcoin is big Ken energy. It's cool to see stuff like this. You know what's crazy to me too is when Barbie movie first came out, there was a lot of people saying Margot Robbie is mid, right? That she doesn't deserve to be playing Barbie. She's not hot enough, all this and that. And it was a bunch of like neck-bearded idiots. And my take to that is, first of all, she's a beautiful, Margot Robbie's hot. I mean, let's be honest here. She's gorgeous. You know, anyone who's saying otherwise, like, show me a picture of your wife or your girlfriend. Checking in on Bitcoin again, some sideways chop, nothing too exciting yet. Pretty flat on the day. Stock market's pretty flat. Everything's pretty flat. It's the month end. Everyone's just waiting to see how this thing plays out. I would expect the next few hours to get some kind of movement, but you can see the chop here. It's just up and down on the money flow. It still's in the green, printed a red dot. Stokes RSI is heading down, but I mean, just it's chop, you know, up down on the VWAP. It's just bouncing back and forth. People taking profits, people buying. So far, so good. I mean, the bulls have so far defended that kind of $29,000 level. That is like the line in the sand that we need to hold. So as long as we keep getting a bounce off of it, that's going to be bullish moving forward. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on Bitcoin. It's still looking like it's going to break to the downside. The liquidity is still heavier to the downside. So just keep watching to see if those bulls can hold. As far as like the spots, the CVDs go, everything's still kind of trending down. Their spots trending down. Whales are kind of up and down as they're defending that 30K level. On the perpetual side of things, on the futures contracts, if you will, we're heading kind of down. It's just, you know, sell side heavy right now. I mean, this is a 5-minute chart, so I mean, we can zoom out and you can see there's more selling right now. I mean, since early this morning, we had that initial pump, we had that initial defending of that $29,000 level, and it's just kind of been back and forth with a little sell side heavy. I took a short at the top once we licked that liquidity up at 29,500, made sure we weren't going to crash through it. You can see I entered in pretty damn on the spot where I wanted to be, and it's just been trending down since. That's the direction I think we're going to go, unless something changes, and then we'll roll with the punches. But for now, I'm in my short, got my stop loss set. I'm up about 20%, as you can see right there. So that's it for Bitcoin, guys. We are just watching the monthly end right now. There's not a whole lot of movement. There's not a lot going on. It is pretty boring. I'm still thinking that we come down. It's tough to enter positions when you don't have a whole lot of liquidity around you. There is some at 29,000-ish, 29,050, and then it kind of goes 26,500, 28,200, 28,000. You got to remember, if you're going to take a position, you want to take a position once you clear out that liquidity, because typically you get a bounce off of it. Same with the upside. If we were going to go up, for example, and we smash 31,000, that'd be a good place to look for a short. That's how I'm playing it right now. Until we get to that monthly close, it could start getting a little spicy. When I say spicy, it's going to do the same thing it did like with the weekly close when futures opened last night, where you're going to kind of run up a little bit, clear out some liquidity, run down a little bit, come right back to where you were, and that's where the real magic happens. So for Bitcoin, I'm watching that monthly candle close. I'm watching the moving averages. I'm watching the bear flag on the daily, right? Remember, this breaks down. That's $28,000, 28,500-ish. It's going to retest that, right? That's what I'm watching for. And then all the moving averages we talked at the beginning of the video as well. I'm watching that bearish cross, see if that plays out today. So far, we're not where we want to be. We want to be positive today. We want to be above that monthly close zone that I've talked about. So let's get rid of this. Let's go to the monthly close. I'm just going to end it here for the Bitcoin portion of it. Because look, we've been in the same range for a while now. There's not a whole lot to talk about. We don't want to be in this box. We want to be above this box to close bullishly on the month. Again, on the 4-hour chart, we want to be above these moving averages. When we're under them, we're bearish. When we're above them, we're bullish. So for now, all eyes are on this cross and the monthly close. Let's look at some alts. Just so many. I wish I had something better to tell you guys. So many of this looks exactly like it did on Friday, looks exactly like it did on Saturday. We were in a larger range that we were in for a while. It was kind of a bullish range accumulating on Bitcoin wise between 30 and 31,000. We fell into a lower range between about 28.5, 29 and 29.5. So the range dropped. We are underneath, this is Ethereum. We are underneath all the moving averages on Ethereum. It's looking like we're going to come down and start testing some of this liquidity and some of these previous, support, their current support, previous resistance levels, as you can see here and going back. I mean, look how it just rides these lines here. So that's where these come from. And there's currently liquidity sitting there. So my guess is, what all the charts are telling me is we're going to come down and test those, period. We just are. I mean, VWAPs are coming down, money flow's coming out, Stokes and RSIs are diving. You got your red dot that printed on Saturday that we're currently working off of with Ethereum. So this is what I'm guessing on Ethereum. CRV, we got to look at CRV with the curve hack exploit that happened. Currently flagging out in the 4-hour. It looks like it's going to want to drop it here very, very soon underneath all the moving averages. I wish when we're bearish, we're bearish. When I'm bullish, we're bullish. Charts are telling me more downside right now. Obviously the money flow's bleeding. We got a red dot that has just printed on this current 4-hour candle. As you can see, it is starting to play out right now. So if we were to break down, let's just take it from the full impulse. From the breakout, I mean, we could be looking at a 0.531 on curve. Boom. I'm going to add this to my watch list, actually. I don't think it's already on there. Add curve to main watch list. Boom. There it is at the bottom. So that's what I'm seeing. You know, money flow is continuously bleeding. It's bleeding again. It bled after the hack. It kind of bounced back up a little bit, and it's coming back down today. So, and that's all crypto. I mean, just look, they're bleeding right now. It's really that simple. And that would make sense too, looking at this past level, this kind of bottom here. I mean, you had a big liquidity lick there, but I mean, just coming down here and snagging up all this liquidity. I didn't even see that before. So just look how that works out. That's probably where we're headed. And what happens after that is anyone's guess. But you can see even, you know, it's like Bitcoin where it's been. I mean, this is a 4-hour chart. We were in the bigger range, fell down into a smaller range. Hack, all that stuff happened. I mean, it's exploit, I should say, but it's just looking like we're going to come down here and grab this liquidity at 0.531. And if we don't stop there, it gets ugly because there's not a whole lot below us. I don't think it does. I mean, I think hopefully we get a bounce there and it stops. You know, this is very emotionally led right now because of the exploit and what's going on. You can see that manipulation going on. It's being heavily shorted right now. It is. And I think that the shorts, the strength there overpowers anything else right now. And that's what I'd be looking. I'm in a short on this right now, and I'm not going to add to it or anything, but definitely one to watch. I mean, got a yellow manipulation X coming out right now. I'm saying, it's being heavily shorted. DYDX is out here pumping his face off, up 5% so far. Let's see what's going on with DYDX. I bet you we come up here and grab this liquidity at about 2.216. That's where the trajectory looks like it's going, even though we hit a pretty thick node of previous volume here. But let's see what the market cipher tells us. Yep, I mean, it's pumping right now. I'm bullish on DYDX. It's a perpetual futures exchange. I don't think it's there quite where it needs to be for me to hop on and actually use the exchange, but I think they're headed in the right direction. But look at this. So it's making, there was your low, you know, big sell-off low. There's your higher low. There's your higher low. And now it's going to pump its face off. So this is on the 4-hour chart. I mean, obviously we need to continue to watch this, but it's coming up against some resistance right now. If we can flip this, so if we can flip that 2.147 to support, we're going to come up here and grab this liquidity at about 2.216. You know, after that, you know, we'll take it, you know, one level at a time, but probably looking at somewhere around here, 2.448. If it continues in that direction, I'm not saying it's going to, but just if we continue an upward trajectory, that's what I'm looking at. You know, I got to check in on KAS, right? Just to see what's going on with Kaspa. So let's get rid of some of these indicators, clean this up a little bit. I don't know what I did here, but it played out pretty much exactly however I drew this. I mean, I guess it's kind of like a doctor's note where sometimes they can only read their scribbles, right? I said we were going to, you know, we top, probably going to make a lower low. Looks like we did there. It looks like we're just kind of getting rejected right now. So you can kind of see it's almost like a continuation pattern. It's like a symmetrical triangle, right? So you can kind of see the trend that we're heading in. Pretty symmetrical. Just means continuation. In this case, would be bullish continuation. I'm very bullish on Kaspa. And you guys know I TA this coin all the time. I made a video on it 8-9 months ago, and it's up 2,000% since. This is when nobody was talking about Kaspa, by the way. Sometimes you just find a gem, man, and this is definitely one of them. But bullish continuation, I would expect us to continue to kind of wind down into this channel. It's going to break up or down at some point. My guess is probably to the top side. Let's see, pending nothing crazy happens, you know. I mean, we've got a bull div. I mean, we made a higher high, you know, but we did make a bear div there. Soaks and RSI is ticking down a little bit on the 4-hour. Let's see where we are. We're ahead of all the moving averages, guys. I mean, I'm still. So you have to be bullish. You have to be bullish on Kaspa. When you're above all the moving averages like we are right now, you have to be bullish. That's just the way it is. Now that could change. I mean, there is some liquidity sitting down here, right? Boom, boom. So it's, you know, we could come down and retest before pumping back up. You know, that all-time high level is at 0.043, which we need to really flip the support before I would tell you to kind of load up your bags on it. Once that gets flipped to support, right, and this is going back to right here, that's that all-time high back to the beginning of April. So once we flip this to support, I'm like, load up. You know, it could be that we come back down and claim some of these levels and retest some of the previous levels, because we did kind of get rejected off of here. It was like a double top, and it's kind of been pulling back slowly, but the bulls have been hanging on. But to get bullish again, 0.0430, I'm still bullish on it, but to get really to where I'm saying load up, 0.0430. Well, you know me, guys, I try to keep these around 30 minutes. We're at about that mark right now. If you want a coin TA, hop in Discord, discord.gg/Alpha Aere. On top of that, drop it down below. I'll put it in tomorrow's video. If you want a fundamental analysis, a technical analysis, if you want me just to talk about a certain coin, my thoughts on it, some key levels for you to watch, how to trade it, whatever you want, drop it down below. I'm more happy to dissect it for you. But we covered a few coins today. Took a look at Bitcoin, told you kind of what to focus on with that month end coming. I'll be in Discord all day, posting charts, talking about it. Hop on in, check us out. We'll see you guys later.